We have you registered as Luis Figueroa, testifying on behalf of yourself and Chief of Legislative Affairs for Every Texan,
That's correct.
and you're testifying against the bill. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Luis Figueroa. I'm a Chief of Legislative Affairs for Every Texan, and we are in opposition to this bill for many of the reasons laid out by the testimony before us. We have come to this committee, particularly the legislature in state affairs in last sessions and in other sessions, talking about the concerns about preemption, the concerns about blending the line between state and federal enforcement and immigration. Immigration is a very complicated issue. It's much like tax law. We wouldn't want local police and other state officials enforcing our tax laws because they are in the purview of the federal government and very complicated and can be abused very easily. In this particular case, in this particular bill, it changes some of the underlying provisions and adds enhancements to Senate Bill 4 from last session, which has been stopped in the federal courts because of its likelihood of being preempted. It's gone up all the way up to the Supreme Court and the Fifth Circuit, and every court has at this point stopped the law from going into effect because of these issues around preemption that have been laid out. So we think this bill complicates an already complicated issue, puts the state at potential more further litigation, and will ultimately be led to more courts, more litigation, and won't even be enforced. So we just encourage you to perhaps put the brakes on this, see how SB 4 goes through the courts, and then we can come back to this after the courts have litigated these issues. And we appreciate your time.
All right, members, any questions? Representative Louderback.
Mr. Figueroa, I appreciate you coming to testify today. Currently right now, all 50 states are going through an expansion of 287G, which has a task force model, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yes, sir.
Which will allow immigration authority to be given to all Texas peace officers. So are you aware of this?
I'm aware of 287G programs, and they have been expanding in different areas. There's legislation pending in the Senate right now on that, so I'm familiar with those programs. Yes, sir.
So that's a jail model. That's not a tactical model. But the tactical model will allow Texas peace officers to be engaged in immigration enforcement. So I mean, we're very close. And this bill is simply part of that. And actually, it's not even touching on this because this is increasing penalties for individuals caught re-entering for certain crimes. So I think it's well within our purview to go there. This is the way the state is moving towards, and this is the way the nation is moving towards, simply because we were subjected to 4 years of horrendous policies.
I think you make up a really great point with those 287Gs. That is the proper vehicle for enforcement of state laws. This bill does not.
It's one vehicle.
It is the proper one. It's the one in the Immigration Nationality Act. So the fact that this bill doesn't use that mechanism further explains why we have some constitutional issues with this bill.
We're going to disagree about that,
287G is the right way, and that's why
I think we can pass a state law about this.
So yeah, we would just argue that 287G is the way. If you're going to start doing some enforcement, do it with the training, do it with the agreement and the MOU is set in place with the federal government. Specifically in jails, I think there's some real good merits to it. Task force, I think people are going to be scared to report crimes. I think you're going to see a lot of police being unable to do their other duties if you're going to do the task force. So we've encouraged the 287Gs to remain within the jail programs.
You know, that's a conversation for a different time. We can debate all those issues.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Members, any other questions? Mr. Figueroa, thank you for your testimony.
You got it. Thank you.
Here. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on, for, or against House Bill 1832?